We mentioned Frosties, and you start the stream. Okay. I don't know what kind of connection that made in your
It's 9:01.
Yeah, it's 9:01, and I can't figure out the thing that I was trying to figure out. So
Damn.
Oh.
Well, it looks like
Yeah.
it's working from our point of view.
it is. It just doesn't look as good as I want it to.
Aw. You and your standards.
I
You and your
know.
goddamn standards.
I try, but I fail sometimes. And one last thing to do. Hey, where'd you go away?
Dun, dun, dun.
That was not scripted. Just totally off the cuff.
No, so I was trying to make it really easy, so that way that we're always on. And basically, I'm just green screening out the gray that is in Zoom. So that way, if any of the people move around or camera cuts, all I got to do is move the name. Unfortunately, if you look at the stream, I have a lot of gray, both in my stream or behind me. My shirt is black, but apparently
Your beard.
no, my beard that's white. That I don't have to worry about being comped out. But apparently, I look like a floating head. So.
No. I remember when you had red hair.
Look at that. All right. But so I'm fine, but it's just like, oh man. Every time I think I've got like a really clever, this is how we do it, and this would be so much easier, and then it's not.
This is how we do it.
Yep.
That's what they say.
Names around.
No. Oh God, damn it. Trying to move. Okay, move to here. There we go. Okay. Let me. I suppose we can start whenever you decide we should.
Yeah, you can go ahead and.
No. Bullshit for at least 20 seconds. Let me think of some kind of intro.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my zombie
bullshit. So we're bullshitting, huh?
Yeah, well,
bullshitting for 20 seconds.
I'm bummed. He doesn't do the sound he's supposed to, but he doesn't. He's supposed to do the. He's supposed to do, but he doesn't.
Well, obviously he's sick. He's green. No wonder he can't make a noise.
I love these guys' little tongue hanging out.
All right. Ready?
Yep, let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Don't be a fool on April Fools. Don't. It's GRD SWeekly. Hi, everybody.
Better yet, don't be a dick on April Fool's Day.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. Very, very quickly, public announcement. Okay. April Fools are not that you're engaged or you're pregnant or stupid shit like that. Please don't do stupid shit like that.
We can do a funny pranks, like you put googly eyes on everything in the fridge.
That's a prank, okay? That's a prank. Oh, your mom called. She's been dead for 20 years. That's not a prank, okay? Don't go back and splice audio. Damn, that's a good idea, actually. Hi, everybody.
That's way too much work.
Welcome to GRD SWeekly, episode number
310.
Oh my God! Wow.
Did I get it?
Yep.
You actually got it right last week. I just didn't.
Should I stop putting it in the stream title?
I don't know. Well, no, actually, it's just.
I wasn't looking at it.
So the folks.
Oh, am I allowed to give you the middle finger, or is that against the rules?
No, go for it. The woman who makes things happen, the Flintstress, is here.
Hey, I'm gonna light a vanilla candle, and it's gonna be a game changer.
The lady who knows exactly what needs to be done, it is Carol the Cat.
You guys sold out? We got curses to break.
The guy who just wants things to make sense in his world, it is podcasting Rich Siegfried.
Why do they always have to be pre-dawn, these raids? I mean, what's wrong with a nice pre-noon raid? Like a brunch raid?
And I'm the guy who still has to go to do the job that he has. I'm the wonderful Billy Flynn.
Smegging-tastic.
What happened there, yo?
Yo, all right, let's see. So we finished watching Halo. We watched the final episode, which was called Halo. And it's like
Hello.
I have a passing familiarity with the game. With I understand about like the weapons and the Covenant and some of this other stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh man! Just when you think things can't get any worse, they just keep getting worse for the people. But they just keep like surviving. But it's visually beautiful. If you like the Halo game at all, I recommend it. Of course, it's definitely had to end on a little bit of a cliffhanger because that's just like how those things go. But even without a ton of familiarity of the game, the show is just really, really well done. Pretty good acting, I have to say. Flynn, would you echo that?
It was fun. I mean, we talked last time about how I get to watch Reach fall again. It is interesting that they brought in the flood. They brought in the flood in a much different way than the game did. I'm willing to let that go a little bit because, oh my God, we're finally on Halo.
The flood was creepy.
Oh, good. That means they did it right.
So creepy.
Oh, no, it looked really good. It's just, in the game, you play for like a couple of hours fighting against the Covenant, making all these plans and trying to survive, and then you're like in this underground bunker, and here's this locked door, and here's actually the real villain of the game that can kill everything in the entire universe easily. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Mindless villain that. And like Halsey would definitely be friends with Tony Stark in that they're the whole like do science first, consider the ramifications after. Like what is his line from the Avengers? It's like we were so busy worrying if we could, we didn't stop to think if we should.
I thought that was from Jurassic Park.
That's Jurassic Park. Your scientists were so busy wondering if they could. They just bothered to think if they should.
There was something but there was some line like that in Avengers as well, and I guess ripped off Jurassic Park, but whatever.
I think it was when Tony Stark came out and said apartments.com. That was my favorite personally.
Good one. But anyway, that show is done for now, and it was enjoyable. We have I think there's one more episode of Bad Batch that we haven't watched that just came out yesterday. But so we're all but one episode up on Bad Batch, which sort of got spoiled for me a little bit on the internet, but that's okay. Just in a character that I know is coming up in this next episode, but I won't say anything. And then but it's just it's a wonderful show. Don't sleep on the Bad Batch if you like Star Wars at all. Definitely watch the Bad Batch, and it's just visually great, and just the dynamic between them and everything is just. And I mean, they're dealing with like mental illness and like PTSD and like more of what it means to go to war than just firing lasers. But have you ever thought about the Star Wars universe? Right, how they have so much technology, like pod racers and like space travel at hyperspeed and everything, but they don't have like personal communicators. They don't have phones. It just always like blows my mind.
The little communicators that they talk into.
Yeah, little
they don't have them with them
Do you
all the
copy?
time, and they're not like unlimited range. I guess ours can't go around the entire galaxy, so I guess ours have limited range as well.
Yeah, well, and at least Star Trek, they had the communicator that was pinned on their chest. That was to me the smartest thing.
Yeah. Anyway, and we also watched a couple episodes of Tracker. Our man Justin Hartley hasn't really been shirtless in anything, but
every other episode
smoldering looks
did not pan out. But yes, God damn it, Justin.
No, they only made us shirtless a little bit at the beginning to really make sure we were all the way hooked in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun show. It really is. I really do like his ridiculously named character.
What is it, Jack
Colton
Tracker?
Shaw.
He's Coulter Shaw.
Of course he is.
Yeah, but he goes to some cool locations, and and you're trying to sort of like solve it along with him. So I mean, it's not a waste of an hour, that's for sure. We enjoy us some Tracker. And then I took MJ to like our school division does this like learning showcase where they'll also have like robots that you can play with and like 3D printers, and like it was like an innovation fair. And MJ wasn't like involved with it at all as far as like a participant, but that's what I used to do for work. So I was like, I can go see all my old friends and also like go to this innovation fair. So that was really cool. They also had an esports competition going on, and that's really getting big. And MJ has already said that she wants to play because the two games they mostly do so far are Mario Kart and Smash Bros, which are like her absolute best games that are out there. So it's just crazy because she's already like excited for that. But I'm like, I don't know how many days a week they practice after school, but I guess we'll have to see. Last thing I have on my list, I watch The Crown, so I'm getting caught up on that. And I just watched the one where Princess Diana dies, and that it was really sad. It was like, damn,
Wait,
like
hold up.
you
What?
sort of know, and then I'm always like, how do they know? I you can go down a rabbit hole, I
Spoilers.
think, with historical fiction because how much of it is actually real and how they know it, right? Like you're getting like behind the scenes, like so and so was the one who made the call to the paparazzi that set this whole thing in motion. And it's like, but how do they know that it really was him? And it's like, is it just like he said, she said, like people talking about it, or are they
90s
finding
Red
like
is
actual
Blonde.
documentary? I understand it's a drama. I understand that it's like loosely based on real events, but it's crazy.
But they were
That
still
show is
real
just
events.
crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right. And it was yeah, it was they've done a really good job with the casting too. Like everybody looks like a lot like the people that they're portraying. So I took a break from that for a while because I knew that was coming up. That was the next chapter, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not emotionally ready for this." But it was good and interesting because you think about it. That was really the age of like the paparazzi and celebrity, and Diana like was where that all started. And now all the pop stars and everybody who can't go anywhere without anything. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, it's kind of ironic that I'm taking it back up now because the royal family has been very much in the media lately, right? And I was like, well, I might as well go back and watch The Crown.
Yeah, we fought a war, so I don't have to give a crap about them.
Right. Merca. But
Bird
it was really interesting
bean.
though, because it's like this behind the scenes glimpse, if you will. But the whole theme of it is about how they have no privacy and they're constantly being hounded by the media. And then we're watching a show that was made about them without their consent.
About that.
Right. So it's kind of like, a little
Flashbacks
bit
to
of
the
a
Pam
little
and
bit
Tommy
meta.
show that came out a while ago, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that has been my Geeky Week.
Wow. Okay.
I forgot some things, but I
go
purposely
next.
left you some others.
Oh, it's that sweet.
I'll go next. So I watched two things in completion. I watched the docuseries Quiet on the Set, which details like the behind the scenes of Nickelodeon, which was not all fun and games. If you read Jeanette McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, you know a little bit of what happened. And this goes more involved in a lot of those shows. It's kind of hard to sit through, but it's kind of worthwhile. And a lot of other people from other shows are now coming forward because this is getting so much attention. So I watched that in completion, and then I hate watched Apples Never Fall, which is a new mystery on what is it? I think it's on Hulu. This author was actually on my TBR, and I took her off my TBR after watching this because this was so bad.
Wow.
Wow.
I like these actors. I like Annette Bening, and I really like Sam Neill, but they're so terrible here. Even Alison Brie is terrible. The poor guy playing Logan in this is trying so hard to hide his Australian accent and failing so miserably. Okay, spoilers. Plug your ears if you're going to watch Apples Never Fall.
Good.
If I'm going to sit through 7 hours of a murder mystery, I better get a murder.
Right?
And
maybe the thing they were killing was your time.
I kind of guessed what was happening by episode 2, and I was like, I'm going to be real pissed, which is why I watched the whole thing. But I was right, and there was no murder. So, Apples Never Fall.
They told you in the title.
Well,
I watched I watched the first couple episodes of X-Men 97.
Yes!
I really liked.
Holy God, yes!
It was worth it for the theme song alone. I'm liking it.
Opening montage, aside from new characters, is the same freaking opening
montage.
Yes. I don't have any familiarity with the original show, so I need to watch the original show first, I think.
This is a direct sequel. You can start here.
You could, but it
tells
literally picks up from the very last episode of the show.
Yeah. It's like it's just next week's episode. So
it's the
I'm
next
looking forward to that.
It's literally the next season.
I watched the first 2 episodes of 3 Body Problem, and I'm enjoying that. That's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 different adaptations of this book. The Three Body Problem is on Netflix, and then Three Body is on Apple. The Three Body is a Chinese production because it's a Chinese sci-fi book.
Oh.
But I'm enjoying it, so I think it's really good. It's kind of what happens if somebody who doesn't really care about humanity is the first person to contact aliens who want to invade Earth.
Ooh.
So,
whatever. Come on.
If she doesn't care if they kill everybody,
as long as you
then
give
she
me a ride
doesn't
out of
know.
here, you can do whatever you want with these schmucks.
Peace out, suckers.
The first episode is kind of tough to watch.
So
though,
long,
'cause
so
it
long,
deals
and
with
thanks for all the
Chinese,
fish. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Because it deals with the Chinese Cultural Revolution and how violent
I don't know how to say
was.
that in Chinese.
Which is one of the reasons why the main character hates humanity. So, yeah, Three Body Problem. I haven't watched Three Body yet. I'm kind of want to compare the two. I haven't read the book either, so I'm spoiling everything for myself, but that's okay. I'll still leave that on my TBR.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the first episode of Shogun on Hulu, and that's really good. So I'll continue with that. And then I saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yes.
And it's fun, but they need to do something different next time. They can't ride on nostalgia forever. But
this is just to hook you back
but
in.
let me tell you, Ernie,
You got to hook you back
Ernie
in.
Hudson looks, yeah, they do. Ernie Hudson looks damn fine. That man is older than Dan Aykroyd, and he looks damn fine.
He's killing it in Quantum Leap.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I think the reason why he looks better is because he hasn't been abducted by aliens quite as many times as
and he's not drinking as much vodka.
Can I ask you guys a legitimate question?
Mm.
Is it racist? And I guess
Yes.
questions that start
Yes. If you have to ask.
if it's complimentary to generalize, yes, it is still okay. Anyway, black don't crack.
But wait.
Did you ever actually ask your question?
She stopped herself from asking it,
and then did anyway.
Are you saying is the term "black don't crack" racist?
No, I'm saying that's why Ernie Hudson looks so good.
I'm not. I'm telling you, Denzel Washington looks damn good too.
Let's ask the esteemed panel of 3 white people what they feel about. Is it racist?
Didn't I do this panel at RavenCon a couple years ago?
And we're off Twitch. What the heck happened? Huh? Well, that's weird.
Oh, God. No.
Like and subscribe.
We got audio.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It's fun. It's fun. You'll enjoy it, but it leans too heavy into the nostalgia. And then I watched a delightfully disturbing little film called Stop Motion. If you're into stop motion animation and horror, this is for you. It's about a stop motion animator who decides to make her puppets out of strange things.
So,
it was right up my alley. I really enjoyed it. And then the rest of my time was spent trying to create a program for Con Carolinas. And it shows you how well I'm doing. I actually wrote problem Con Carolina instead of program.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's what we call a Freudian slip or some kind of mental thing.
And that's been my geeky sweep.
Some kind of mental thing.
Well, for me, of course, I am up to date with Resident Alien and still absolutely loving that show. Oh, the most recent episode was heartbreaking. Alan Tudyk just shows again and again why he's one of the best actors of this generation.
He didn't get stabbed, did he?
No. This is not in tribute. This is not in tribute. It is a tribute. We'll put it that way. Also finished up Mr. and Mrs. Smith with
the new remake of it.
Maya Erskine and of course Donald Glover, who I think co-wrote or produced or co-created. It's a damn good show.
He worked on it.
It's basically, if you enjoyed the movie, it's all the stuff that would have led up to what happened in the movie. And it is a good show with some damn fine acting.
Huh.
Highly recommend it. I also finally started picking up episodes here and there. Bob's Burgers, and I know I am very late to the party on this one. It just looked like people who didn't get hired by Family Guy were trying to do a show. And
It's weird to me that the dad sounds like Archer.
Well, yeah, it's the exact same
because
voice. Yeah,
That's
I mean,
because
it's,
it's on
I know, but it
Benjamin.
just like messes with me.
yeah, and that was part of it
Messes with
too.
you more if you see what he actually looks like.
It doesn't bother you that Archer sounds like Coach McGurk?
No, because it's not exactly the same. This is exactly the same.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But no, I was impressed with how just freaking good it is, and that it is its own thing, and it is
Yeah.
great. I love
It's
it.
a cult phenomenon. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
You were ready, Flynn? It was. Thank you.
Let's hear. I also watched the first episode of Quiet on Set. That is a show that I got to kind of space out. I was apprehensive going into it because with Drake Bell talking about, him coming out as he was one of the victims, which I'm sorry that happened to him. I felt that the timing was pretty curious since it wasn't all that long ago that he was just put away for being a real bad
Same
dude.
thing?
Right.
And I wasn't sure if he was doing the Kevin Spacey Come On Out tour.
Yeah.
But the stuff, what was kind of crazy with some of the stuff that they were talking about was stuff that I just flat out did not remember seeing on television. And like some of the stuff, like I was a huge Dan Schneider fan. Like it was like everything that he made was gold for kids. For me, it came around with iCarly, Victorious, and Sam and Cat, which were great. They were just ridiculously funny. But of course, a lot of those jokes that were aimed towards adults have a slightly different tone to them once you realize how much of a cretin he was. And that the good news is it wasn't just the kids. He also shit on the female writers, all two of them that got paid one salary. I mean, the guy's a trash human. Watching that, it is heavy stuff. It is not something to binge, but it is good to see. And I think my hope is that the documentary series becomes just as important as Coogan. Oh, I'm blanking on his first name. The guy who played Uncle Fester in the original Addams Family.
Coogan.
Jackie Coogan. Thank you. Jackie Coogan, because Coogan's Law, which was created because of the things that he went through and endured, was specifically created so that way part of any child's salary from acting or performing has to go into basically like a trust that nobody can touch until they reach a certain age, and various other protections and stuff, both legal and monetary, as well as working hours and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping that this is something that will come about because of the unfortunately horrific experiences that these kids had, but because it's so unthinkable that those things would happen, that once they're brought to the light, good things will come from them. So that way their suffering and bad experiences won't be for naught, basically. And then
it's like the 24-hour news cycle and like media coverage and everything is like a terrible thing in some ways, but in other ways there's nowhere to hide when you're just a horrible person. You used to be able to hide, and now you can't. And so for all of the negativity of the constant like visibility, you're not getting away with that behavior that you were able to get away with in the past. So that's kind of the silver lining, I think, of the fact that we always have a device or all this other kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
And we're also starting to see what happens to kids when they're put in these ridiculous situations where they're incredibly wealthy. There's no real boundaries. I mean, Amanda Bynes, like, you see what happened to her, basically what led to her And also the same with Ariana Grande, which, you know, we haven't heard anything crazy wacky coming out from her in a while, which is good. Because when you know, we were such fans of her on Victorious, and then of course Sam and Cat, because she is ridiculously talented. Then you find out that she's, you know, a walking asshole, and you're just like, oh, come on, dude, you are gifted with an incredible voice, amazing comic timing. Don't waste it, dude. This is not something that happens often. Why are you being such a jerk? You know, but like I said, it seems to be, you know, working out for her apparently. So hopefully that continues on. But then also I watched the new Roadhouse. Love it. The new Roadhouse. It is.
I heard it was awful. But
no,
fun.
whoever
polarizing, man.
Whoever says that is dumb. Okay. No, I think
the first one was awful but fun.
Yeah, the first one was awful but fun. This one is fun and also fun. It is just, it's good writing, good acting. Is it going to win any awards? No, it's not a masterpiece of cinema or anything like that, but damn it, it is Doug Liman doing his Liman best, and it is hilarious and fun. He knows just how to use everybody the right way. They hit all of the tropes. Everybody's rocking and rolling and stuff. And if you didn't like Jake Gyllenhaal, you will be both impressed and charmed by him, because he's just damn good.
I do.
That's the thing. They're taking the essence of what Roadhouse was, and they updated it. They made it more current. They made it even more enjoyable. And so I highly this is one that I will probably watch at least once a year, because it's just like, oh my God, this is just such a blast.
But,
wow. Okay.
But they did bring back the Jeff Healey band, right?
Sadly, no.
What?
But here's why. Here's why. Because it's not just one band. They actually feature a lot of local bands from that general area. And it's all bands that you've never heard of, but you watch them and they are so unique looking and sounding. You're like, I want to know what their story is. Like almost every background character, the bands that come through there, everything feels real, like it exists when the camera's off, and you want to know more about them. And so it is. In Conor McGregor, they use him right. They basically just shake him up and put him out there, let him do his thing, and then
and go.
And he does. Unless he is Conor McGregoring it in everything that he does, he's not going to be in much. But he is so damn good as Conor McGregor, you know, just amped up a little bit. But everything in it is believable. The fights and everything, the way everything works out and stuff like that. And it's just damn, it's funny. There are several times where I had to pause and rewind because I was laughing too hard. And like, I got to see that again. So I highly recommend it. I know some people aren't going to dig it, but I did. It was so damn much fun. Yes. Highly recommend. And that has been my Sweeky Geek.
Oh, okay then. So I'm continuing to go through, and I'm caught up with all the issues of JLA versus Godzilla versus Kong. This is like it's 5 issues in, it's still going. I don't know how many issues it's going to be, but they don't seem to be close to a wrap up. But I'm like, you know what, this is fine. Sure. The Toy Man got like something and was able to pull the monsters from the universe. Lex Luthor was able to ascertain the Monarch files, so he's got some idea of what's going on. It's just insanity. And they finally told us that Superman is not dead, but he's very, very hurt, and he is in fact dying, and they've got to figure out a way. But shockingly, Superman was not dead. Wow, who saw that coming?
Again?
Right. I've played some more of the Marvel Rising Suns game. It's just kind of weird and fun. It's a different take on the Marvel universe than most video games like to give us. You do have a bunch of your more nocturnal characters. You do have Ghost Rider. You do have Blade as a character that you're actively able to play in missions and stuff. So that's fun. I'm having a good time with that. They finally wrapped up and showed the last episode of Capote versus the Swans. Look, I don't care. Okay, old school Hollywood nonsense. I
love it.
I do. It's certainly not as good because it's part of the Feud franchise from Ryan Murphy. This is the second one. Bet versus Joan is worlds better because they really despised each other very publicly back in the day. Just announced things on talk shows, and it was crazy. You do get some good talk show moments with Truman Capote in this, but yeah, he was a fascinating guy, an interesting guy, and he was working on a book that he swore he was going to finish when he died that no copy of has ever been found. So somewhere out there in the world that has to exist. So did we talk about it last week, or did you completely forget that we watched Blue Beetle?
No, we talked about it last week. I
Did
think.
we? I don't remember that at all. So anyway, well then yesterday I watched the movie X. Have you heard of the movie X?
It has nothing to do with that which was Twitter, right?
Or Vin
No.
Diesel? Was that like the prequel to Triple X?
The Mia Goth horror film.
Yeah. No, this is
When it was just one X.
this is it's the year.
This is the Mia Goth horror film.
Yeah, this is the year 1979, and some 20 years oldish people have decided they're going to make a really good adult movie because
Sell it at the strip club.
Cinematography and whatnot. They're going to make this just above level, just above board adult movie. Here's where I'll tell you that Jenna Ortega is in this film, and I was a little disappointed to discover that in the film she's working the boom mic.
I bet she is.
Yeah, until the one moment where she's like, well, you know what? If this is going to be the best, porn movie ever, I want to be in it. Now, she doesn't get naked like her co-stars do, but she is in bra and panties. So, Jenna Ortega, thank you very much. Now, it's
ladies, hold on a second. We need an age check on Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, how old is Jenna Ortega?
No. We're fine. We're fine.
She's in her 20s. Believe me, Flynn knows.
Trust me, I know.
Okay, just want to clarify.
Hey, you know how I know what I'm talking about here? My name's not Dan Schneider. In this movie, they rent a house.
She's 22.
And basically, this movie kind of wants to. It wants you to know that it knows that you've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, it knows you've seen this movie. Because I do believe they are in Texas, and they rent like this house on like this big farmland of like this very, very, very old couple, who then start killing these kids for being, dirty, perverted people, whatever. And it's the wife mainly who is behind all of this, and there is a bit of underdeveloped reasoning as to why. There are some hints dropped here and there's the reasoning that she would be this type of person. And oddly enough, this film is getting a prequel that's going to be coming out in like a couple of months. And
It's already out.
Oh, it is already. Okay, it is already out. And
yeah,
then
the sequel's coming out in a couple of months.
It's coming out.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
The prequel is Pearl.
Yeah, the prequel is Pearl. Pearl is the name of the old woman who does most of the killing and most of the very, very disturbing things that you will see in this film. And so I guess I did enjoy this film. It just wasn't quite what I was expecting it to be. And it's really, really old people as murderers, which leads to this one incredibly funny moment near the end of the movie where Pearl goes to shoot somebody whose gun turns out doesn't have bullets, and she picks up her husband's shotgun, and when she pulls the trigger, she goes flying out the fucking front door onto the ground because she's this incredibly old woman. And I'm laughing my full head off at that. But anyway, the highlight of my entire thing is I sort of, it's Tuesday night. I've got some time. I don't have to get him go to work in the morning, so I'm flipping through. So what am I going to find? Hey, look, there is your 3-body problem there. And I'm thinking about it. Do I start another show? But if I'm going to do a 3-body problem, why not finally watch Bodies, Bodies, Bodies?
I highly enjoyed that movie.
The next day, I was like, "Oh my god, no, seriously!"
That was much more fun than X.
You have to watch this movie. Oh, and that's
Flynn watched it 2 days in a row so that I could watch it.
That's another reason I'm wondering about my opinion of X is because I just saw Bodies, 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 which was incredible, and then I watched X the next day. So I don't know how to take that.
What a commentary on society, right?
Did Motley Crue do the soundtrack?
Actually, a good juxtaposition.
Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is a group of rich, snobbish, entitled kids who have been friends for pretty much all their lives.
20s.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And they're having a hurricane party. None of the parents are there at the house. and they play a game called Bodies, 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 which is basically werewolf. You get an X, that means you're the killer. They turn the lights off. You go kill somebody. The lights get turned on.
It's also kind of Among Us, sort of a ripoff of
sort of,
Werewolf.
kind of, in its own fun way.
Mhm.
But being that it's a movie, of course, somebody actually dies. Yes, you've seen this movie 1,000 times, but I promise you have never seen this movie. You have not seen this movie. The way they do it, the way they get to where they're going is incredibly fun. It is so much fun, and I'm going to give it a bit of praise that I hope doesn't come off the wrong way. But considering the number of times that all these kids get pissed off at each other and talk about how they really feel about each other and how they secretly hate it and giving and spreading secrets, this had a lot of Agatha Christie moments in it. It really, really did.
Well, for me, it's
I just love the dialogue in that film.
The dialogue is fantastic.
What happens when some
what are you
young
gonna
people
do? Journal about it?
With some young people.
When some young people are denied access to the internet for any amount of time,
They lost power.
Bodies. Yep.
Yeah, a group of young people had no internet.
So everybody
and
dies.
Proceed to kill each other. It's fantastic. Yes, that's an oversimplification, but oh my God, yes, you need to watch that movie. Holy hell, did that movie really, really impress me? Okay.
The wonderful Billy Flynn looks at what Chad and Abby are up to now. If you know what TV show they're on this week, you could win yourself a prize. It's your further adventures of Chad and Abby update. Chad and his crew have to figure out how to save 6 people caught in an elevator in a raging fire inside of an office building. Then Chad and his crew face a blaze at a prison and several of the team get kidnapped. Then Chad's crew go to a hot nightclub. Yeah, because there's another damn fire. Chad and his crew then sent to a tunnel project because I'm sure there's some kind of emergency I can't even think of. But as the Virginian of the crew, Chad has learned to deal with many types of environments when he's trying to save others. And he looks forward to him and the crew going back and hanging out at the Blaze abode, the Conflagration Casa, the Inferno habitation. Hashtag Shabby forever.
Let the email soar.
Sure, someone can do something like that. Although I like the way Poe Theater on the Air audio drama did the stories with a different wraparound story, She Who Must Be Obeyed and I thought Netflix's Usher was well done. She had more surprises because I had listened to Poe Theater twice, second time on Mutual Audio Tuesday Terror Feed. That is from Zach Man, who's basically telling you, holy God, yes, go watch Follow the House of Usher. Dear God, it's so good. It is so good.
It's on the list.
Hey geeks, Follow the House of Usher was amazing. See, what did I just tell you? I also wanted Rich to do the lips moving thing for the show, and that could be a Patreon special, man. Think about it. You should. As for Chad and Abby, do I tell you that I was a fan of Howard Hessman, so of course I know Ahead of the Class, or because it came up in conversations about Quiet on the Set?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about that. Oh, because Schneider was one of the creators, wasn't he? Of Head of the Class, I think. He was one of the co-creators of Head of the Class.
He was best friends with Arvid. He was a main character on the show.
Well, no, I know he was a main character. I know he was a main character on the show, but he also was a co-creator.
I'll believe you. Now I will go cleanse my mind when I fire up some Billy Connolly, just not season 5 of that show about super smart kids who should have gotten out of high school a whole hell of a lot sooner. That is from James. Well, James, you were right. Last time Chad and Abby were indeed on Head of the Class.
The teacher's so bright they had to wear shades.
That is a hell of a good pull right there. Holy God, I was not expecting that. Is that why you even suggest this in the first place? Are you a secret Head of the Class, like super uber fan?
Not super uber fan, but it's one of those things where you can't really pick and choose what you remember. You just do sometimes.
Okay, because she said to me, "He's like, hey, did you ever do Head of the Class?" And I was like, you know what? I haven't.
It was on TV. I think we were just channel surfing and we saw it.
Oh,
it was a good show.
One of the stupid channels near Me TV that show all the old sitcoms and stuff.
It was a good show.
They've got Head of the Class, but yeah, you've got the smartest kids in the school. It was on for 5 seasons. Come on, man.
Right.
Remember how they got rid of the really young kid after the first season because she grew up and made the rest of them look like they were 50?
Yeah, because they were like 32 years old. That was the way they did it though back in the day.
And then they all went on to appear on 90210.
Yeah.
Even didn't Howard Hessman leave because he's like, shouldn't these kids have graduated by now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's just the kind of the things that happen with that. So yeah, so if you know where Chad and Abby happened to be this week, it was March, so we had more than our usual amount of times for you to get entries into a wonderful, crazy prize. And I'd have to look around to see if I still have it. But for those of you that understand that, Rich is into Bob's Burgers now, I do believe I have the Burger of the Day book that they made.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, replicate for all your heart's intent. So just drop us a note to podcast@geekradiodaily.com, or of course a voicemail, a text message. You could use the magic numbers of
510 GRD Crew.
and that'll get you right there to us. I can't think of a better way to make that happen. Yeah, we don't have instant communicators. We discussed that. Fair enough.
A Whovian and a Nuvian walk into a TARDIS
and explore every episode of the classic Doctor Who series.
Join me, podcaster John S. Drew,
and me, writer-editor Jim Beard, as we take apart each story starting from the very beginning in 1963.
And join us on our Facebook page and Twitter, where we continue the discussion with you with historical artifacts from British papers of the time. The Doctor's Beard podcast, released every Saturday around tea time on your favorite podcasting app.
And we'll see you in time and space.
Hello, I'm Robert Picardo, and for reasons I can't fathom, you're listening to Geek Radio Daily.
I offered him 3 lines, and he loved that one. He's like, yes.
Of course.
Fathom is a good word.
It is.
I mean, it's really got depth.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Geek News!
The best one yet, guys.
Geeky point of view.
Former Blues Clues host Steve Burns has conducted therapeutic check-ins with his social media followers occasionally since 2021, but a recent upload hit viewers harder than usual. By the way, he didn't OD on drugs. Recently, Investigation Discovery released a 4-part series, Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, which revealed the toxic culture behind some of the most popular Nickelodeon shows of the late 1990s and early 2000s. I mean, what's a little child labor without the addition of favoritism and objectifying young stars in sexual ways? What's the worst that could happen? So, for many who were raised on the network's programs, the documentary revised previously rosy childhood memories. In a video posted that week, Burns asked viewers with a knowing gaze, "Hey, I'm checking in. Tell me, what's going on?" He did not go on an armed robbery spree in Albuquerque. That's one of the things he didn't do. For nearly a minute, Steve nods quietly, as though listening to them respond. As the video draws to a close, he says a simple, "Okay." And after one last pause, finishes with, "All right, well, it's good to hear from you. And you look great, by the way." The TikTok now has more than 5 million views, and nearly 30,000 users have left comments expressing everything from despair to gratitude. Burns, of course, led Blue's Clues from the show's premiere on Nick Jr. in 1996 until 2002, when viewers were told his character was leaving for college. Then the bullshit Joe showed up and ruined everything. Since his leaving, of course, conspiracy theories surrounding Burns' departure abounded, and in the end, the truth was not so complicated. It was just simply time to go. I was pretty much playing a boyish, older brotherish kind of character on the show. When I was getting older, I was losing my hair. A lot of the original gangsters on the show, like the people who created it, were all moving on to other careers. It just felt like time. And no, exactly. And no, he did not marry Bigfoot and retire to New England to work on their butterfly farm. Although that's probably more believable than most of the things people say. Exactly. And since re-entering the public eye, he has taken great delight in speaking to college students about his mental health challenges and the resources he sought out to improve his own. "Steve became my role model," Burns said of his character from the show, "because he was not afraid to ask for help." And he certainly wasn't going to ask help from Joe, because Joe sucked and was bullshit. No, Joe was fine. I mean, there is
no Steve.
There is no way you're going to be able to compare with Steve, because Steve was just, I mean, he should be sainted.
The new guy's
He was
pretty
like
good.
Mr. Rogers level.
Yes. Yeah, no, 100%. I would 100% put him up at that level. He's just so damn good.
Steve Irwin, Bob Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That library guy on TikTok. If you've ever seen him.
Oh, I love him. Yes. Okay, who's next? Is it
well,
me?
Speaking of children's shows, I'll go next. Speaking of children's shows, Hulu on Disney Plus has officially launched. Bundles are becoming an increasingly common offering in this age of streaming. Remember when you bundled everything together and it was called cable?
Cable? Right.
But Disney Plus and Hulu have now taken their bundling to a whole new level. As previously promised, Disney has merged Disney Plus and Hulu apps into one unified service on the Disney Plus platform. While Disney Plus and Hulu are still available as standalone apps, Hulu on Disney Plus is now officially launched. And this content merge is branding color change official.
Oh.
Let me hear. Of course, Hulu on Disney's Plus's merged content means a price increase for subscribers. Of course it does. With ads, a Disney Plus and Hulu bundle costs $9.99 a month. That's $2 more than the Disney Plus Basic. Without ads,
with Hulu.
the Disney Plus and Hulu merged offering is priced at $19.99.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bit of a
This
jump.
is a bit higher. This is a bit of a higher increase from the cost of Disney Plus standalone premium offerings, and currently priced at $13.99 a month. Of course, purchasing Disney Plus and Hulu separately will cost users more than the bundle. And obstinately, okay, excuse me,
stupid not
cat
to.
juggling, and obstinately,
Cat ass.
at some point, the ability to purchase these streamers separately will vanish, likely just in time for another cost increase.
But then they'll come up with a brand new show that we all want to watch.
That we all want to watch, and it'll be Marvel.
So, Ahsoka season 2 or just something.
And it'll only be on Hulu, so you have to get the bundle. We know this Disney Plus and Hulu merger is serious because Disney Plus has changed all of its branding to accommodate the new content on its platform. Disney Plus Blue has become a Hulu-fied greenish blue hue, which Disney is calling Aurora.
Of course.
So are they coming out with? Are they coming out with like a Wayne's World, brand new Wayne's World then?
No,
they have an Aurora princess as well.
That would be, yeah. I'm sure that's. It doesn't look like Aurora's blue though. It actually looks more like Moana. They should have named the color Moana. So yeah, now if you have Disney Plus, you can get Hulu on there. Or if you have Hulu, you can't do that. You have to go to Disney Plus.
Huh.
And it looks like I'll be changing some services so I can bundle this stuff together.
Bundle. Then it'll be like cable all over again, and we'll be paying one company for all our.
Remember
TV.
when we complained that we paid $100 in cable? Now we pay $100 in streaming services.
Meanwhile, Pirate Bay's just sitting out there going, "Hi, everybody."
Well, I've got some interesting news. It doesn't cost you any money, and it may end up keeping people safe or not. I mean, I guess we'll see. So, the New York City is working on, and they haven't added them yet, but are working on AI metal detectors added to the subway system. There've been a bunch of like safety features that have come about recently with more cameras in different places and other types of things. What was I going to say? I'll get to that in a little bit. But essentially what the mayor has said, like they're regular metal detectors, but the AI helps to be able to tell like if it's a gun in their pocket or if it's their phone or whatever it is.
They're just happy to see them.
So let me give you some more details here. It can ignore metallic objects like your phone and other electronics as people walk through at a normal average pace. So this is not like you have to stop and like pause in it. The only problem is there is a 3-second delay before the detector beeps and plays a message asking them to step to the right.
You have 15 seconds to comply.
Viewing an iPad for scans and checking to see who is one that set off the alarm. So we're not, it's not perfect. As far as the AI piece, it really didn't show up in this initial demonstration, but the maker on its site says it has to do with the pattern based on the shape of the object. So until people start making guns that are shaped like iPhones, then they should. What was that movie we were watching where they had guns and they were liquid? They had liquid in them. Oh no, that was.
Those are called squirt guns.
It's called the Super Soaker.
I think it was Dusk Till Dawn, wasn't it?
No, when did we just watch it?
Bordello of Blood?
And he was a bad guy. And that was, what was that?
Oh, you mean Lift?
Lift. I forgot that on my Geeky
completely forgot to talk about. Yeah.
Was it?
Okay, I'm
was
putting
it
that on my
about
Geeky
an
Sleek.
elevator?
No,
I'm putting it on my Geeky Sleek. Anyway, I'm not going to do it in the middle of my news story.
Oh, right.
Dang it. Anyway,
I forgot something on my Geeky Week, and it's sitting right here staring at me. So
Wow. Well, so it'll be another 90 days or so before the technology rolls out, and they'll probably do some pilot testing, right, of this to see. They've done multiple different kinds of tests. Oh, they've also had some scanning software to determine who skips through the line. Crime apparently is down, but I mean there are still some crimes. There was one on TikTok not even that long ago about people being punched in the face randomly. So I mean, it's not like there's don't still have their issues, but it could. I mean, I'm for some of this safety stuff when it comes to you just walk through at your normal pace and it can kind of tell of what people have, and if that takes a little AI to do that, I mean, I think I'm okay with that. Of course, I'm not riding the New York City subway anytime soon, but if you are out there, maybe this will impact you.
Aww.
But will the AI recognize hands with just the right amount of fingers?
Good one.
Will it catch the actual, big giant cockroaches that look like people walking through?
Right. Rats of enormous size. Yeah.
So a total solar eclipse is going to happen Monday, April 8th, putting on a nice big show for about 44 million people who live completely within the totality, where the moon is going to be shielding the whole thing. But there are people, they're on YouTube and they're on TikTok, who believe April 8th might literally just be the end of the world.
Again.
Like when it ended in 2012. One of the most common claims has been circulating online is that the solar eclipse will pass over 6, 7, or 8, depending on which source you get, towns named Nineveh in the United States and Canada. And TikTokers have been making maps showing, look how the path of totality goes over these towns. Now, Nineveh was a town visited by the biblical figure Jonah, a Hebrew prophet who lived in 8th century BCE, and some social media influencers believe an eclipse took place when Jonah was in town, meaning the same thing is going to happen to modern-day Americans on Monday. Because Jonah killed people? I don't understand what is the big deal? Who the hell cares? Nothing bad happened to Jonah in Nineveh. In reality, the path of totality is not going over 6, 7, or 8 of these towns. It's going over 2 of them. One in Ohio and one in Indiana, and that makes the claim, totally different. And it also makes you wonder that since the totality is going to occur in places like Santa Claus, Indiana, is Christmas coming early? It's going to be in Ding Dong, Texas. So will you have chocolate cake snacks in the path of totality? I don't know. What about, and I kid you not, the path of totality will also cover Booger Hole, West Virginia. And if you want to come up with a conspiracy theory about how the moon is trying to protect the world's boogers, please let us know. Or for the love of God, get Curtis Armstrong to make a song about that. That would be great. That would be great.
Who still lives there?
I no idea.
Curtis Armstrong. Yeah, like Billy said.
Another thing that social media creators seem fixated on is the possibility of electrical systems going down with cell phone, the infrastructure, like Y2K. Humans have been making apocalyptic predictions since the dawn of civilization, but these ideas can spread faster than ever thanks to this big weird thing we call the internet. You don't have to worry about the world ending on Monday, April 8th. Your biggest concern is going to be to make sure that you've got the proper glasses to watch the eclipse so you don't damage your eyes like some former presidents. We have lived through many doomsday claims, and I think we're all going to be just fine. And especially, look, the whole Jonah thing, that's a weak connection at best. This whole thing is really a whale of a tale. GRD is licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Derivative Works, United States 3.0 license. Check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. Stop by the website at geekradiodaily.com.
Are we sure that a space whale isn't what's going to be blocking out the moon?
No, it's a giant turtle. Come on, man.
Or is it a giant...
No, it's a boa petunias.
Is it a giant ding-dong?
Oh, no, it's a booger with a
Is it the space whale's ding-dong? We don't know. Could be any of these things.
Please, it's podcast at geekradiodaily.com. Of course, a voicemail, a text message. You need the magic numbers of
510 GRD Crew.
And thank you. Just, thank you. That's what else is really there to say. Thank you.
What the hell are you still doing here?
Well played, Clux.
Anyways, tune in tomorrow for another astonishingly wondrous episode of Adam West Presents Adam West. Same Adam time, same Adam channel.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, I threw a 5 and a 4, which beat his 3 and a 2, another double 6, followed by a double 4 and a double 5. After he'd thrown a 3 and a 2, I threw a 6 and a 3. Man, this guy could ball for his country. What I want to know is how the smack can you remember what dice you threw at a game you played when you were 17? I jotted it down in my risk campaign book. I always used to do that. So I could replay my moments of glory over a glass of brandy in the sleeping quarters. I ask you, what better way is there to spend a Saturday night? You got me. So, a 6 and a 3, and he came back with a 3 and a 2. Remember, can't you tell the story is not gripping me? I am in a state of non-gripness. I am completely smagging, ungripped. Shoot the smag up. Don't you want to hear the risk story? That's what I've been saying for the last 15 minutes. But I thought that was because I hadn't got to the really interesting bit. What really interesting bit? Ah, well, that was about 2 hours later. After he'd thrown a 3 and a 2, and I'd thrown a 4 and a 1, I picked up the dice. Hang on. The really interesting bit is exactly the same as the dull bit. You don't know what I did with the dice, though, do you? For all you know, I could have jammed them up his nostrils, head-butted him on the nose, and they could have blasted out of his ears. That would be quite interesting. Hey, Remit, what did you do with the dice? I threw a 5 and a 2.
Whose birthday is it?
It is Chris Berry's birthday.
Nice.
Rimmer's such a good character.
Tis.
Like, shouldn't like him, but did.
So do you want to see what I forgot to show and tell everybody about my geeky week?
Yeah.
Hey, so Carol, you went to the movies.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did
Oh, that's right. I even went to go get it for you.
Oh, cool.
I did not go to an AMC, so yeah.
I didn't either.
Neither did you.
I ordered it on the website.
Really?
The day the movie came out, you go to their website, all the stuff that they possibly have.
Turn it around. Let everybody see it.
I'm going to. So, now first off, ooh, and it's on wheels. Because it has to be, because it's ghost wrapped.
You gotta be able to...
First off, I'd like to point out that the dials move. The dials move. They do. And, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, making it officially the smallest popcorn bucket they've ever made.
Yeah.
It's a toy that they repurposed as a popcorn bucket, but that's fine.
Well, similar to the Dune popcorn, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit better than Dune's giant anus
anybody's
bucket.
having sex with this one though, so I think we're going to be okay. But yeah, this
You'd be amazed.
Challenge accepted. All I need is a little slime and.
You know, the handle. I love it's it's the actual. Oh my god, this is.
That is cool.
And I was like, and when I found out you could do this, I was like, son of a bitch. So I could have gotten one of the D20 popcorn buckets. I just didn't know you could order it off their website. So from now on, F going to the movies. I'm just going to order my.
Just order it off.
If anybody wants to ever get Billy Flynn a gift, you can get him the D20 popcorn
bucket.
bucket.
You give me the D20 popcorn bucket
off of eBay.
And a really good picture of Chris Pine. That'd be great.
So how much was that?
With shipping, $33.
That's not bad at all.
Not really, because it would have been more than that to go to the movies and buy. The drinks you buy with that cost more than the shipping. The one drink costs more than the shipping.
Oh, I forgot something funny when we were talking about bodies. There was this whole segment that I need Flynn to isolate the audio for about podcasts.
Podcast is really hard, okay? You've got to schedule the guest. You
don't even listen to her.
You got to make a Google Calendar. It was so funny.
That in the end, you said he was a vet. A veterinarian.
That movie was so good.
Called him G.I. Joe. Well, look at him. And yeah, we're not going to spoil anything since we're still on the stream. We're not going to spoil a goddamn thing. Watch Bodies. Criminally underlooked film. Holy God, that deserved a whole lot more.
Davidson basically plays himself.
Yeah.
And kudos.
And when the end happened, I was like, oh my God, you're kidding me. The end
At one point,
was
so
amazing.
Flynn figured it out as soon as she picked up the phone, right?
Yeah. As soon as it happened.
Oh, Lee Pace is in
I
that.
didn't until the video started. I went, oh my God. As soon as it started, I was like, I know exactly what happened.
Because when she did, I remembered that they found what they found outside, and I remembered that he left that outside when it started raining, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, when he dropped it, I remember thinking, "Oh yeah, that's gonna come
Dude,
back."
she's calling everything in this. When B leaves the visor down and the lights
The
are on,
visor,
she's
I was like, "Oh, the
"Oh,
battery's
the
dead
lights
on that
are
car."
on.
Yeah.
That's gonna come back." And she's like, "Oh, this window. Oh, that's gonna come back." Like, damn, woman, you're just spotting all of it now.
Boom, 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 boom. Yep.
I do like that they act stupid, but they had an absolutely good reason for acting stupid because they were all high on drugs and
Oh
drunk.
yeah, we're
Oh my
coked.
God,
I'm
so
coked out.
many drugs.
We're all coked out.
Right, that was the
Unlike
lesson.
X,
Don't do drugs, kids.
Everybody was acting stupid in X, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm.
You gotta be real quiet to get out of here.
And like, you know, they're starting to snipe at each other like during the game. Of course, you get the impression this has happened a lot. But yeah, like, you know, it's you totally it's so believable. Every single bit of this stupid movie is absolutely believable.
And how none of them actually like each other at all.
Yeah.
And they've all been holding on to it. Oh man, that was just.
You know, I was during some of those where they just get like cold, just so damn cold to each other. I was hardcore flashing back to some cryptic stuff. I'm like, damn. Now Perot needs to walk up and say something clever.
Yeah.
Rich, did you see Bodies?
I have not.
Holy God. Do not
on a
read
streaming service,
anything at
yeah.
all. Go watch this movie.
Well, because I think the poster and like the poster didn't do it any favors. Right?
Well, the Netflix poster just has like Pete Davidson on it, nobody else.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why I didn't watch it.
Right about when he was sort of getting famous / notorious.
Mm.
But I give him a lot of credit for playing a very reprehensible character in this film. He's a horrible, just a jackass that nobody likes,
Yeah.
who also is a very small, fragile person. And he's able to bring that off. And, you know,
let's face it.
hey, Rich, this is not really a spoiler, but he dies. So, hey, come on.
Yeah, it's nice to see awful people die.
That's what kicks this off. That's the friend who dies when it's like, oh my God, wait a minute. Because, of course, everybody's split up before this happens. Everybody goes to a different part of the house, and then someone dies.
Let's face it, those men would be small when compared to Lee Pace.
I mean,
even on drugs, you would think that at some point you'd go, okay, nobody's splitting up anymore. But it's like they've never seen Scream. Yeah,
they
weren't following the rules. But I guess rule one is don't do
the
drugs.
gang split up. They split up in groups, so at least that was smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
and they had Scooby snacks.
Fred always took off with 2 women and left Shaggy with the dog.
Shaggy with the dog.
Fred knew what he was doing.
He wasn't no dummy.
No. Jinkies.
You know, I've accidentally rented that version of Scooby-Doo 10 or 11 times.
Accidentally, really?
One time, I had a principal at a school who had made a slide presentation, and he was trying to say something about vision and was trying to use a picture of Velma in the glasses in his example, and accidentally used like waifu sexy Velma. And it was like, we were all like,
oh my God,
dude, you put the wrong one on there. I mean, you couldn't really like see
and he's like,
anything.
Did
but
I?
It was a little bit risque. We were all like, yikes.
Did
She
I
was on her
put
hands
the
and knees
wrong-
looking for her glasses. Yeah. Yeah.
So was that porn called Scooby Doo?
Scooby Doomy Doo. Scrooby's better. Scrooby's better.
Just a bit. Okay then. So yeah. I don't know. My geeky week was kind of slight because of we had karaoke. So it was
Last week.
Oh.
Last week was a trash fire that graduated into a dumpster fire, and this week is dumpster fire too. Electric Boogaloo.
For work or
from work?
Oh,
Seriously, I got off work like 20 minutes before we started.
Damn.
Wow.
So
Rich, is your house fixed? Can you go to the bathroom in your own house now?
Yes, that's all.
No,
Oh, wait, no, that's Rich. Yeah, Rich had the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It has been for a while.
Yeah.
I've been holding it this whole time.
That's the update. How much time has passed? I don't know. I don't know. I'm ready to go chillax and watch something.
So last night, real quick. Last night, sir, for Mark's, Jackbox Twitch thing, I couldn't hear myself. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, nobody could hear me. So I know you can't tell, but this is a different mic cord. I don't know if that mic cord's bad. I need to test it. But, I lost audio on the microphone. Everything else was working just fine. I played drops. People could, never like, yeah, woo. So I knew it wasn't a problem with the board or anything. Because I could hear all of that. I just couldn't hear me. And then oddly enough, a new cable. Because oddly enough, I have additional XLR cables.
Really? I find that surprising.
The first one I could get my hands on, this one's like the 20-foot one, the big long white one that we ran at conventions a couple of times.
Yes.
That one, it's that crazy one. So yeah. So I don't know, what did I say? The April 11th. That's our next thing.
Something like that.
Yeah, April 11th.
Yeah. 411, yo.
Yo.
What's the 411, yo? Mary J. Blige in the house.
Does that mean there's only one Chabby next month, or we're going to do a Chabby at RavenCon?
I don't know, dude. You figure out the Chabby.
Okay. No, I'm not going to figure out anything. So
I think we need as much time to bullshit with people at RavenCon as possible. So it's
We need
not
to
that I
find a
mind Chabby.
guest.
Oh, yeah.
Rich,
All
why
right.
don't you randomly show up and be the guest? Huh?
Yeah, Rich, come to RavenCon. You can wear a mask.
I just haven't prepared for everything. I'm actually good to go back to cons again, but
Dude, don't prepare. Just come to the fucking con and let me and Mark run this shit, and you just enjoy the fucking con.
Could you imagine going to a con
and
not
just
having
enjoying it?
I wouldn't. I'd be bored out of my fucking mind. Are you kidding me? No, it's
with me.
He would.
No, the preparation is in like making sure that like there's a lot of preparation that I have not done yet. Most of it is like internal preparation. Because I just haven't thought about it in years. I was really hoping to be able to get, but with the house move and Hugh's death, it was just like still coming out of the kind of PTSD of the shit that was going on with the kids for so goddamn many years and everything. And then COVID, and then the family stuff, and then moving. It's just like, I have not had basically more than a month where there hasn't been some major thing happen where I've just been able to chill. So I am committed to next year doing all of the things and such. So that is the goal, is next year, because like I said, I thought it was going to be this year, but then with
your triumphant return,
with Hugh passing, and then the move and everything, and then all the house stuff, and oh shit, that was something I was going to mention. Not Geeky Week, but just Shitty Week. Not last week, but weekend before, the cats got outside. I didn't realize they'd figured out how to apparently open the little latch on the porch to get out into the backyard. And Amenadiel came in. Lucy hid underneath the deck. I actually crawled underneath the porch that has about a 2.5-3 foot clearance. Trying to, see where I could see it, because he had kind of scooted in a way where I couldn't see him. And it kept sloping. The ground was sloping upward. The porch did not, so it was getting tighter and tighter. And finally, I am not claustrophobic at all, but then I had a claustrophobia attack, and I basically had to scoot, I think probably 30 feet back without being able to raise up at all, because there's nails. Whoever built the deck did it dumb, so there's nails pointing down. So like I physically was exhausted for like several days afterwards. Now it took us a couple days to finally get Lucy back in, and then about a week for Amenadiel to stop being an asshole to him because he had to keep him separated. So it's just like they're.
It was like, oh, you're back.
Yeah. So I mean, between the sewage being an issue, and then shit with the cats, and of course, one of the gals at work just left, so my workload just tripled. So it's just like, okay, I got to figure out how to get this thing moving smoothly and stuff. So I'm really hoping normalcy for next year, so I can do stuff again. But anyway.
Gotta believe, man.
Yeah. But hey, look, I've got this, I've got the stream basically set up now much more in a normal way. So that way, if we have people to work, the greens, like if you guys look at the stream now, I fixed the issue that I was trying to sort out earlier. Yeah, I didn't actually solve the problem. I have no idea how to do that. Apparently the green screen is just a little too sensitive. But so I just slapped a black shape behind me, and that seems to look fine as far as I can tell. Just
Dad weeks.
So it's still comping everything out, but at least with that, it looks normal as far as I can tell on my screen. Yeah. So that's something that no matter, so, when we have multiple guests again, it's going to be a lot easier because however I arrange everybody on my screen here in Zoom, it's automatically going to do it on our screen, and I'll be able to then, put whatever I need to and stuff up in and around. So I just can't lean too forward because apparently the lighting is shining on my head here a little bit, and then that's and somehow it is treating that as the gray from fucking Zoom, which makes no goddamn sense. I have no idea why it's doing that. So yeah. Why does technology have to be a pain in the ass?
Give you something to bitch about. Damn.
Ooh, floaty head. I'm a floaty head. Ooh. Yeah, where's your ghost trap? Where's your ghost trap, dude? Yep. Oh, Flynn.
One thing.
You gotta kind of give it some like push like that when you go to close it.
Oh yeah, you do. There's even like 2 little stickers with like thumbprints. Hey, press here. Press here to lock trap doors.
Oh, nice.
Bye.
All right, guys. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.
She literally asked me if it needed batteries. I was like, it's a popcorn bucket. The hell?
Well, if it does things, you don't know.
It doesn't light up. That would have been cool. Doesn't play the Ghostbusters theme. Oh, Jesus.
But does play Ray Parker. No, not Ray Parker Jr. Who was it that sued him?
Huey Lewis.
That was Huey Lewis. Plays a Huey Lewis song.
Exactly.
Damn it. I'm too tired to make jokes. All right, man. Later. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Look, ooh, the screen. You can't see it now. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure you have yourself a good night. And we will see you guys here in 2 weeks.